Hi, I'm Sailor Moon. Tuxedo Mask. And today we're going to do a live stream. We might do it to at least 12, I think, till about 3 in the afterday. Now, we'll start this YouTube live stream out about a bug or a flaw that has been on YouTube since the beginning of YouTube or YouTube's beinghood. Films getting stuck and filleting or working. It's not a new thing, it's an old thing. It's been happening to YouTube for years. There's no warning. Your film will just upload like it does all the time. And then it'll get to filleting and it will say something like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't fillet this film." It won't say nothing. It will just play around. And sadly, there's always going to be folks out there who have their beliefs over why this does. Some folks will say, "It was your sandbox. It was your fall. It was your evilware stronghold tool. If it was my sandbox or my firewall or my evilware stronghold tool or even my interweb speed, wouldn't that have either stopped or blocked the upload?" And it's never the uploading, it's always the filleting that becomes a big hang up. You know? And YouTube knows all about this hang up because it's been with them from day one. You know? And I know there's haters out there and trolls and whatever they want to call themselves that like to scathe anyone who gets irked or angry over YouTube not filleting their films. Well, I got news for you. Until it happens to you, you don't got no room to speak of. And I thought I was handicapped. I truly believed that I was being handicapped or weakened for no ground, no sake, no why. For my 9 years of YouTube and YouSide, I have never, ever gotten a warning or gotten striked. My good standing with YouTube has been there for 9 long years. Never had a warning or never gotten a strike for ownership or double ride on anyone else's work. Been in good standing with that. So there would have been no ground for me to be handicapped for, got to get all your films stuck in filleting. Which is bullshit. I don't know why it was. And if you think that's the only thing we're talking about today, you'd be sadly mistaken. But it's one of many things, Yeah, I know, Sailor Moon. There are going to be folks out there that have all kinds of forgivenesses or whys for why their film gets stuck in filleting, Everyone likes to guilt it on sandbox, firewall, evilware stronghold tool, interweb speed, which would only stop your upload or get your upload stuck. It wouldn't do anything to the filleting or working of your film. And there's going to be someone out there that goes, "Oh, well, you know nothing about reckoners and you know nothing about websites." Well, I know a little about reckoners and some about websites, but I know one thing. Once the film is being worked on the website, it's up to the website to work on it. It's not up to you. The sandbox, the firewall, the evilware stronghold tool, your interweb speed didn't do anything to that not getting stuck. So if everybody likes to guilt it on those things, go right ahead. Sorry for clearing my throat there. All right. And I know that when you first start a YouTube live stream, you don't get anyone watching. You get someone who comes in and out, but you don't get them to watch, which is not a big, well, I guess wouldn't be a big deal. They're probably like, "Oh, it's Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Max Irwin dolls," or whatever. Nothing outstanding there. Shift on. You want to know what's so outstanding about it is that I'm the only one that does it. They're not really anyone else there that does what we do every day. I mean, yes, there was Sailor Moon Jacob, but he's gone again. And for that other woman, whatever her name is, she does it, but she does it with other dolls from other drawing shows or drawing films. So, yeah. You're right, Tuxedo Mask. I mean, you're right, Darian. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, why do so many folks why does someone like don't want to come on your live stream? They'll come on, they'll watch it, and then they'll say, oh, I'm not into it. It said, hello, Sailor Moon. Do you think that you want to win a fair one-on-one with Sailor Moon fight Goku? Why does everyone always like to make me fight Goku from Dragon Ball Z or Lindworm Ball Z? I don't know why they always like me to fight him. And the truth is, I don't really know him that well. Yes, he's a follower to 4-1 Bonds of Good like I am. But at the end of the day, why would I be fighting him for? Everyone likes to make films of me fighting him beating me beating him. They're like, oh, he likes to eat just like you do. Yeah, he's mighty just like you are, and that's probably true and all. But why would I be fighting him? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why either. Don't know. You know why, Tuxedo Mask? You know why, Darian? I don't know, Sailor Moon. I don't know, Serena, why some folks would want you to fight other folks from drawing films or drawing shows. You know, it would be like, okay, you came from Toei, but you're from Deke, you're from Cloverway, so they go, oh, well, you should be fighting these folks or something. I don't know why. And I hope I answered that asking thing of the first fellow came on. Read this. It goes, what stopped Tuxedo Mask from putting on a kitten? From putting on a kitten? Are you say a mitten or you mean gloves? I don't know what you're talking about. It says, I don't know what you're talking about. Truly, I don't. I think you said kitten, but why would I be putting on a kitten for? I mean, you can't put a cat on, and a kitten is a young baby cat, and you can't put a cat on, so why would you be doing that? So you mean mittens? But that's a French borrowed word. The English word would be gloves. I don't know. Don't ask me. Don't ask me why everyone in Sailor Moon and everyone in the Mic Keepers wear gloves. I don't have the answer for that. It said, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I have stroked Luna and Artemis and Diana, if that tracks for anything. But I wonder why everybody wants to know why I do be stroking cats. I don't know. I don't know, Darian. I don't know, Tuxedo Mask. I mean, you get folks that ask you all kind of stuff on Shout Out. Some of it's all right. Some of it's weird. Some of it's odd. And then sometimes you get folks that just want to be, creepy. Folks that want to be, and then you get folks that want to say creepy shit and say bad shit that want to get hushed and locked. So, yeah. Well, we should suck someone to be an overseer to Shout Out box. No. The one time I did that, and you got to tell them what to look for. You got to trust that they know what to hush, what to lock, who to time out, who to take off. And sometimes they don't do anything unless you tell them to. So I just do it myself. It says, someone says, hello. Well, we missed you there. Yeah, you said hello. And right now we got at least one watcher, one onlooker, watcher or seer of our film, of our live stream. Or at least for free folks before that. Well, I gotta be going. We're gonna have other folks on this YouTube live stream. We are. It said, hello, it's me. I don't know who that. I said, hello, that's me. It said, Me too. So you're both still on. Yeah, the YouTube or sides thing is like, oh, having a mistake here. And making you think there's only one when there's two folks watching your live stream. There's no way to know if you're a follower or not. Well, someone's going to be coming on soon. If I hopefully I can get all the inner sailor fighters on here. Yeah, we better go do that. All right, gotta go. Hold on. Gotta put anyway, gotta go put him back. All right. It goes. Goodbye, Tuxedo Mask. Yep. Well, Sailor Mercury. Well, Amy. So, Sailor Moon. So, Serena. Isn't it true that since Mercury is a Latin borrowed word, the English word would be quicksilver? Yeah, I believe so. So it would be Sailor Quicksilver. Yeah, would be. So we had this hang up that started sometime, I don't know when it happened, but I know we made a film. It was Sailor Mars Fight the Joker. And this film would never fillet. No need how many times we upload it, between 7, 8, it would just not fillet. Then about 9, it fillets, becomes playable. No grounds sacred wide to why it would get stuck in filleting. We truly believed that we were being handicapped and guilted by YouTube or YouSide for doing something wrong. But how could we have done anything wrong? We've been in good standing with them for about 9 years, with followership oversight, website oversight, including ownership and double right on folks' work, which be earnest. How could we lose our good standing with that shit? Well, we never do anything in our YouTube Fairway that anybody else could say that's their work. Never got a warning and never gotten a strike. But I know there's going to be folks out there who say, oh, YouTube likes to do shit because they like to do shit. Yeah, I know. If you're a YouTube mate, back this up, Sailor Moon. We never been YouTube mates. But if you're a YouTube mate, they like to either year-gate your films when there's no ground, sake, or why for it. Take the income off of your films when your films and your Fairway are following either followership oversight, website oversight, mateship oversight, showing oversight. So yeah, why would I ever? And it's not like I'm ever going to meet the oversight to be of that. Who knows? But then earnestly, who would stop them? If YouTube wanted to fuck with you, they could. Since this offshoot of YouTube is free, unlike YouTube Red or YouTube Farseer, which they are the only two offshoots of YouTube where you're yielding for it, so it's not free. But even then, they're like, yeah. And a lot of folks like to guilt it on a lot of things. Oh, they like to guilt it on leadership. It's almost as if they're going around doing stuff to folks. Well, if that's true, well, half of the leadership of YouTube over its 9 years, we've been in good standing with most of that over those years. So I really wouldn't think that that'd be a big deal. But whatever. I hate when it happens. The truth is, Sailor Mercury said, back in the day, when it used to be a thing and it used to happen so many times, go back and look back at all of our old films we did about 9 years ago, and you'll see how many films were always bitching about getting stuck in filleting. And back in the day, even back when we first were on YouTube, we used to get haters, even in the early days, going back from 2008 YL to 23rd between YL, that would scathe us. They would shame us. They would guilt us. They'd say, You have no right to get angry, no right to get irked at YouTube. They're not answerable to you. They're free. Well, haters, back this one, haters, I'm free. I'm not answerable to the haters or to the trolls. And they were bitching about my work, guilting me and shaming me over things I didn't say and I didn't do, besmirching my name as if I was answerable to them. So double standard. And then their films get stuck in filleting and they got no room to speak of. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. You know? And I know that my YouTube fairway these days might not be as outstanding and awesome and wonderful as other folks. I know there was Sailor Moon Jacob. He was on and off YouTube since 2020 YL, and he's been on and off. Now he's been gone on and off 2020, 2021, 22. He left in 2023 YL. He's gone. And then there's other folks out there. Oh, I wouldn't worry about them, Sailor Moon. I wouldn't worry about them, Sailor Mercury. I mean, Serena. You know, at least we're doing something that very few folks on YouTube do when it comes to Sailor Moon. It goes, Sailor Mercury, you're so strong and wise. Well, thank you. You know, a lot of folks like to guilt me or shame me or scathe me over my bubbles. They're like, bubbles don't do anything. Why did they give her why did God give her bubbles as a strike? Oh, I don't know. The bubbles do something. They help hide folks. And I did have other strikes over the show. Like I had Mercury Bubbles Freeze, which I got in a Tudif following. And there was Mercury Opera Rensity, but I guess the English word would be Quicksilver Water Clean. But yeah, a lot of folks used to give me shit for that. And the funny thing is, over in Dawnland, I was ranked as one of the most beloved selves by folks for me either being highly wise or having skills with the Reckoner. Yeah, you're right about that, Sailor Mercury. You're right, Amy. A lot of folks did give you on look, at least in the Toei offshoot, which all the Sailor Moons offshoot from in some way. In the Deacon Cloverway one, I don't know if you got that same on look or not. And Viz, I don't know. And here we're going to talk about the Tuskler in the room. Someone brought up about how when I was growing up, that my mother and father handled me badly, that I was bullied a lot by Sailor Mars Ray, got bullied a lot by Luna, was either gaslighted or ghostlighted by them. Yeah, I don't understand where that was coming from. I mean, yeah, sadly, that seemed to be a lot of thing that was going on in the Toei world and the Viz world. And yeah, Deke kind of cut a little bit of it out, but they kept a lot of it in. I mean, Sailor Mars Ray was still being a bully to me. When Rini came along, she was really bullying me, and I was really getting shamed and guilted for things I didn't say and I didn't do during all that time. And it shifts out that I had a learning hang up. And you thought my mother and father would help me out with that. But no, they either would guilt me or shame. My mother would either guilt me and shame me for not doing well at Learn. Then there'd be Samuel and the things he'd be doing, and I'd have to go watch after him. And then I have Luna, who would be shaming me and guilting me and bullying me from time to time too. But later on, Luna mostly said she was sorry for all of it. And later on, Sailor Mars Ray said she was sorry for all of it. And so did Rini, who became Sailor Small Moon later on. But it wasn't like that in the books. It wasn't like that in any other offshoot of Sailor Moon. Not in the books. You know, not anywhere else. But for whatever grounds, someone at Toei thought, yep, gotta put her in a bad kin, a bad bearers, you know. Why? I don't know. But Deke kind of cut some of it out, and Cloverway kind of cut some of it out, but some of it was still there. Yeah, I know what you mean, Sailor Moon. I mean, it was sad. It truly was. Yeah. And it really, and some folks who watch the Viz one now would see a lot more of that shit. And in the Deke one and the Cloverway one, well, mostly was some of it was cut out, but a lot of it was still there in some way. You know, only it was kind of skimmed a little bit by Deke. But in Toei and Viz, it was there. If you don't believe me, codename Sailor Earth, whatever her name is, talked about it in one of her films. Yeah. Well, I gotta be going now. Well, Sailor Mercury's off now. Sailor Quicksilver's off now. And I know that I know at the end of the day, I don't really get a lot of onlook from the Sailor Moon followership, unlike others out there. It's like the only way you can get onlook from the Sailor Moon followership by some is either A, you got every single doll that was ever made by Irwin or Bandai, or you got every ever book that was ever forlayed, or you got every film that was ever made. You know, you got every ever shirt that was ever made, or whatever. You might get some onlook. Oh, but if you happen to like the Deke offshoot or the Cloverway offshoot, back in the day, a lot of folks would treat you badly. Well, not all of them, but some of them would. Oh, it said, "Oh, goodbye, Sailor Mercury. Goodbye, Sailor Quicksilver." Oh, it's Sailor Mars now, or Sailor Red World. I want to know something. Why is it that why is it in Toei and Viz you bullied the shit out of me? I don't know why I did it in Toei and Viz's world, but I can tell you why I did it in the Deacon Cloverway world, because at first you were a soft baby, a ditz and a klutz, and I didn't think you were a good enough leader. But I told you later on I was wrong. Yeah, I can only speak for what I did in the Deacon Cloverway world. I can't speak for what happened in the Toei world or the Viz world or the Renaissance Atlantic Entertainment or New Birth, you know, you know, West, Great Sea Glee one of what I did, you know. So anyway, a lot of folks like to say, so all right. So it is true. We were talking about in the Sailor Moon followership that there were some folks who have a Stanyard. And some Sailor Moon followers, not all of them, but some of them sadly behave this way. You want to tell them Sailor Mars? You want to tell them Ray? Yeah. Some of them are like this. Oh, well, if you don't got every single doll that was ever made by Irwin or Bandai or, Great East Glee, or you don't got every single drawing film that was ever made or every book that was ever written or forlayed, and you don't call them and you don't call them by their Dawnlandish borrowed names, but instead of their Latin or French or Hellenish or Farsi or Hebrew borrowed names, then you don't get no onlook, and that's the way it is. And if you take them out of the box and do what I call doll shows, you don't get a lot of onlook. I mean, that's not true. You get some onlook from some folks on YouTube, but you don't get onlook by the whole Sailor Moon followership. I mean, Sailor Moon, another Sailor Moon, Brandon Smith, and Sailor Moon Jacob were some of our followers. CK Smith 08 was a still follower of us. And back in the day, we had Michael Alagi 86, Nick 2121 back in the day, and some other folks like Megan Pussmucker who would give us onlook. And then we had Sailor Moon fan dubber or Sailor Moon lover speaker who completely had him blow up one day and started giving us shit. This is many years ago about how Sailor Earth Ernest was there only to slight Nico Takenchi, or however you say her kid name, which isn't true. So a lot of folks out there, yeah, I'll admit, what are you doing? You got something in your hair. I've had something in my hair ever since I was made back in 2020. So it says, so I don't know. We got 2 thumbs up. One watching, could be really 2, and YouTube is just having a bad time keeping a reckoning of it all. Or YouTube side. Since tube is a French borrowed word, English word to be hole, U-hole, or YouTube side, or YouTube way, I guess. So anyway, that's really how it seems to be. At least that's my belief. And you might say, does that make us the black sheep of the Sailor Moon followership? Yeah, but not in the bad ways you think. You know, it's not like anyone guilts and shames us for stuff, or makes us be the lead goat on anything that goes wrong, which isn't true. But a lot of them tend to not take you earnest. At the end of the day, it seems to be the Costa players or the clothing players who seem to be in the middle of the followership, and on the top seem to be the gatherers, the ones that got every single Sailor Moon thing ever made by Irwin and Bandai and the newest stuff. They got every single book ever written and forlayed. They got every other film show it's ever broadcasted or streamed. They got every Sailor Moon shirt that is. And they're mates, so they got a lot of gals, so they can go out and buy all kinds of shit and go to all kinds of shows and stuff, and mostly put every other Sailor Moon follower to shame, even if that's not their goal or not. What do they think about followers like us? We'll never know, because they don't come around followers like us, so we'll never know what their belief of us is or is not. Well, at the end of the day, it's kind of sad, Sailor Moon says. I gotta clear my throat now. Gotta clean things out of my reckoner. So at the end of the day, it is kind of sad, that you might not get that. There's always going to be floors to the followership. And unless you're on one team or another team or a floor of the followership, you don't really get on looked. You don't really get talked about. It's like each one of them sticks to their own kind. The cost of the show players or the clothing players stick to their own kind. The gatherers only stick to themselves. And then the folks that play with dolls, and the way that some folks say is if it's a bad thing or something, they tend to be at the bottom. Well, if that is true, I don't care. And there's probably nothing I can do about it either way, about the stands and the mindsets and the beliefs of the folks. But the one thing you can't forget about is that the gatherers never show any love to their Sailor Moon dolls. Oh, they might have a big room with all the Sailor Moon dolls in it. They need take them out of the boxes, but they don't play with them like this. It's like beneath them. It goes, gathering isn't needed. It's not the only thing that makes you feel like Sailor Moon believes in you, but you're also a good talker. And it said they don't play with them, thought it's not as fun. No, and it's true. That's right. Do they? I don't know. And there probably are some out there who probably think that what we do is wrong, or they don't like our take on the show, or they don't like how we shift to do things that the way they don't do it, you know. Or need be that since we like the Deacon Cloverway Sailor Moon, and a lot of them tend to be more into the Viz Sailor Moon these days, that might be it. But who really cares? Well, yeah. Can I go on Sailor Mars? Yeah, you can. I mean, who really cares? At the end of the day, so you're never going to get onlooked by them. You're never going to get name dropped by them. Big deal. And yeah, they might have all the Sailor Moon shit ever made and has being made, you know. But at the end of the day, it's like, at least I made more films than they did. And I have more fun with doing this. They might not have, first, they might not believe in, they might not think it's fun to do this. And they might not think they could do it. I don't know. Whatever the grounds is, I'm glad what I do. And I had to go for a lot of shit to get to this too. Yeah, you wouldn't believe it, but from starting from 2008 YL to 23rd between YL, many of my old Sailor Moon fairways, I got bullied. I got trolled by folks who thought this was wrong. You know, they would make up stuff about Dwayne, which wasn't true. They would say he was lazy because he didn't work. They would say that he plays with dolls and it's wrong. And they would always make up all kinds of shit. None of it was true, you know. And they had to deal with all kinds of stuff. And it wasn't anyone from the followership. It was just folks that want to make a name for themselves. Selves that would self-cast all the things on someone else. Went through being hacked. Went through fake flaggings. It was sad. But here I am 9 years later, and where they are, gone. Off of YouTube. Off of YouSide. Hopefully gotten a life, I guess. I mean, I do forgive them for all the things they said and all the things they do. And I think a lot of them wouldn't say it in true life. They would be brave, bold behind the reckoner. But off the reckoner, I don't think they would say and do any of those things. And it wasn't anyone from the Sailor Moon followership. Let's make that flawlessly understood. It wasn't, I gotta go now, Sailor Mars said. It wasn't anyone from the Sailor Moon followership doing that. Oh no. It was folks from all kinds of followerships on YouTube. Mostly the commentators. Well, that's a French borrowed word. The English word would be the thought givers, right? And they would go around and they would say, I'm scathing the work. Yeah, well, the last time I looked, when you scathe the work, you don't make fun of you don't besmirch someone's name. You don't guilt them and shame them for things they didn't do and they didn't say. And you don't bully them. Then they would say if you can't handle that stuff, you can't help being scathed. No, but I couldn't handle was being bullied, being shamed, being guilted for stuff I didn't say, for things I didn't say and I didn't do. It goes, I need to go to evening meal now, Sailor Moon and Sailor Mars. It said, thank you for the film today. Have a good day. You're welcome. Well, anyway, Sailor Jupiter says that most likely means that we're going to be only having 2 followers now, since the third one was probably later in the day for him or her. So anyway, so a lot of folks out there always wonder, why do we take from the Deacon Cloverway more than we take from the Toei or Viz? Because growing up, This was the Sailor Moon Dwayne kind of grew up on a little bit. The one that he saw when he got into Sailor Moon. So in his mind, that's what he believes is Sailor Moon when he thinks of it. Not the Toei offshoot, not the Viz offshoot, but the Deacon Cloverway one. The Viz offshoot is only only a backup if you can't get the Deacon Cloverway stuff. But anyway, so anyway, I just want to say now we got one follower now. Well, I guess one watcher, one onlooker, one seer. So I guess now it's matching up, I guess. So anyway, Sailor Jupiter, anyway, Lita, I just want to know why you got all that hair was always doing that. I don't know. I guess I should start cutting some of that hair off that's doing this. Yeah, but the one thing about doll hair is if you cut some of it off, it'll never grow back and it's not true hair. No, it's not. Isn't it true? One time you used to have two things holding it together and one day they broke off. Yep. And I had to have a rubber band or whatever hold my hair together. Yeah, that is what happened. It says. That's true. So, anyway, how many more folks am I going to have on here? Well, I think after this we'll probably have Sailor Venus on here and probably have Sailor Earth, I guess, before we am up ending this YouTube live stream. So sadly, that's how it went. Well, I know this live stream might not be as beloved or awesome or wonderful or glee as some other folks' live streams are out there. Yeah, I know it does. I know it doesn't have all the cool shit they do. You know, it is what it is. So getting back to what happened earlier this morning, if there's any truth to back it up. So earlier this morning, if you were making a film, I don't know what time this would have been because your time said would not been the same as ours. If you made a film between the spans of, let's say, 7 or at least around 8, your film would get stuck and filleting. It didn't care if it was a long film or a short film. It didn't care if it was in SP or HD or 4K or whatever. And if you didn't do anything wrong and you were in good standing with the website, then you might think you're being weakened or handicapped for no sake, ground, or why. Well, luckily around 10, luckily around 9, the films started filleting, which thank God, because I was about to yield. I truly was about to yield and give up on this. And it has been putting in 9 years on all of those 9 years for Sailor Moon, half of those 12 years for the Might Keepers, half of those 9 years or so for Jordan, half of those 12 years for TWF, and how many years for Xena. It was almost as if the website was doing what so many trolls and haters and bullies seek to do over the years, but lost at doing, was getting me to leave. You know? Yeah, I know. You want to go? I know what you mean, Sailor Moon. I know what you mean, Serena. It was sad. I mean, a lot of folks like to guilt it on all kinds of things. They'll say, oh, it was your sandbox. It was your firewall. It was your badware stronghold tool. It's your interweb speed. First off, if it was one sandbox or firewall, wouldn't the uploading be blocked or stopped? If it was someone's evilware stronghold tool, wouldn't the uploading be blocked or stopped? And if it was the interweb speed, then your upload would be flow. Once it's all done, the filleting is all on the website. So you can't guilt it on a sandbox, firewall, badware, stronghold tool, interweb speed, whatever else you want to gild it on. Whatever other things that folks want to say, oh, this is what's making it do it shit. You know? And none of those things does nothing to the filleting of your film. They might play grounds on the uploading, but not on the filleting. It goes, oh, I hope you never stop making films, Dwayne. Well, I sure hope so too. Well, anyway, yeah, I hope so too. So welcome to this YouTube live stream, you know. And that was like the big thing. Not the only thing we talked about today, but it was one of the big things. And if anyone from YouTube or YouSide happens to be watching this, which I don't really think they are, but if they are, you need to truly fix your shit. I am sick and tired of films getting stuck in filleting. Back in the day, it was irksome. I didn't like it. I still don't like it now. I know sometimes shit happens, something goes wrong. Every once in a while, you like to do shit to get shits and giggles. Well, whatever, grow up, whoever you are. Fix your shit. I don't care if you're not answering to me or not. And back in the day, haters and trolls would always say things like, you have no right to get angry or irked at the website. It's free. They're not answerable to you. Well, yeah, well, guess what? They're not answerable to you either. And you're not answerable to us. And our haters and trolls would behave as if we were answerable to them for our films on a website, which was free for everyone to be on. And I know at the end of the day, we're not going to get any award from YouTube that says, good work, Sailor Moon for life. You got these tracks of followers. Never going to get the daybook, never going to get the yearbook from them. They don't give out that shit to you unless you get to big reckoner of followers. And even then, they probably still don't. They like to give that shit out to mates all the time. But we all know they like to fuck around with mates more than they fuck around with the non-mates. So I'll never ever be a YouTube mate. And someone seems to think they do this because they want you to go buy YouTube Premium. But that's a French borrowed word. It was formerly YouTube Red. Well, if I don't, why the fuck would I want to buy something that I can already get? Oh, so I get answerable? So they're answerable to me every time their film gets stuck in filleting? I call them up and say, hey, YouTube, you red, you reach YouTube Red or YouTube Side Red. Oh, your film getting stuck in filleting again? Let me go work on that. How much are you yielding a month? I don't know, $23 a month, we'll say. Yeah, well, guess what? Knowing them, and I know how it goes like. You see, some mates have the live talk, but it doesn't really helpful. You only get one YouTube hireling. He or she can't really help you. They can't undo your bind, and they can't tell you why you're being handicapped or weakened, and they can't send you to anyone else. They can't send you to another team follower, and they can't send you to their team leader. So you know how that would be like if you would call them up. They'd probably handle you the same way on YouTube Red or YouSide Red. So yeah, so it's always feedback. And they always seem to like it when you write something like, you don't care about anyone, you only care about yourselves. Anytime you write that down, then they tend to go, oh shit, someone thinks we don't care about them. Well, most of the time you behave as if you don't, so. So anyway, it is what it is. But I'm over it now. But yeah, that would have been a sad day if I would have stopped. If I would have stopped with my films. Yeah, I know the haters and the trolls out there would have been happy about it. But at the end of the day, never going to stop doing this. You're right. At the end of the day, Sailor Jupiter, say Lita, you're right about that. At the end of the day, we'll never give up on this, you know. And a lot of folks, they might do what they're going to do. That's their own business. Great for them. We're going to keep on doing this. And I know it might not go that much. I know we don't really get a lot of watch time or a lot of looking for what we do on YouTube. And we might have some followers, but like whatever. But I still think our films are good. Well, I gotta go now. There we go. Shit. And that's what you get. That's what you get for shifting Tomo over a bit. You get Sailor Mercury getting knocked down. Or Sailor Quicksilver. It said your films are good. I'm glad to hear that you didn't stop. Yeah, because if I gave, oh no, because if I gave up, then the haters and trolls over the years would have won. And it's not like YouTube would have cared. And it's not like anyone else will be doing this, at least not this way. Well, anyway, so Sailor Venus, Mina, you're here. Yeah, I'm here. And I'm the only one that never came from Amazon, never came from eBay. I came from the Salvation Army, or we call it the helping fighting arm, frisk shopping giving middle. And this would have been in the 2th month of 2012 YL. Yeah, you're right. Only one that came from that. And it looks like we might be bringing this YouTube live stream to an end. I really thought I could drag it off longer, but this is how long I was going to do it for. So anyway, guess we'll go to about 2. So anyway, just want to say that, anyway, yeah. Well, what? We didn't really, so what was I going to say? I don't know. Everyone always asks me all the time, if my show or my book, I should say, came out first before Sailor Moon's book came out, why did I never get a show that gave the back saga to everything that happened to me? I don't know. There were 2 books that were written and drawn about me. And then Sailor Moon's books came out, and then the shows came out after that. But there never was. Okay, there was one following in the Toei and Viz one that had some back saga to me. That was the one that Deke never worked with. Whatever ground they just chose not to work with it. I don't know why. But anyway, yeah, it does look like that is. You want to end this here? Oh, yeah. You want to go ahead, Sailor Moon? Go ahead, Serena. All right. Like I say, if you like this film, then follow me over here at Sailor Moon for Life. You know, it said, it goes, my take, fake something. And what's the other film you made this morning over here when Sailor Mars fought the Joker? Or the stunt, or the lark. The lighting's not good. YouTube film shifting tool, you know, does, you know, not yet. YouTube's film shifting tool doesn't let you bright up your films. So if you can't see it very well, forgive me. But no, I'm not ending it yet. I'll probably have to go to at least around 2 and then I'll be done with it. And that's 2 Eastern. That might be whatever in Hill, whatever in Middle, whatever in West, whatever that comes down to. But anyway, yeah. If you like this film, then give it a thumb up, which you already got 3 thumbs up for this live stream. Share it with any of your friends or kin. Uh, Playlist it, love it, whatever you want to do. You know, give your thoughts on the film if you want. Mostly, you probably can't do it until it's done for laying anyway. And if you want to do anything like we do, I hope that you would do that. All right. I, Sailor Moon Serena. I, Sailor Moon Mina. And I'll see you later. Bye.